Hello, welcome to Cornwall. My name's Andy Paramore, this is Andy's Cornish Creations, and in this video we're going to be making a pen out of a slimline kit, and they're the cheap kits that usually around about £2, £2.50, and this is what we're going to be making. It's a little bit different. It's not the normal slimline, so the only thing I'm using out of the kit are the two brass tubes, the mechanism, and the nib, and it's a twist kit, as you can see there. There you go. Two pieces, twist as normal. But I've done away with the clip at the end, made it much longer and just a bit more interesting. I think it makes a really nice kit, or a really nice pen rather. And this one I've used a piece of leadwood and a piece of, I think it was willow or something like that. It was a pen blank. But the one I'm going to be making for this video is in oak. Some offcuts of oak that I'd got, and I may stain the end and leave the back end natural, but a nice simple project, and a little bit different, and it's just an idea that I saw and I thought I'd pass it on to you guys. Anyway, without further ado, let's get over to the lathe. I've actually I've prepared the blanks. I've put the tubes in the blanks. I've roughed up the tube, glued the tube into the blank, and I've got two of the ends mounted up on the lathe, so I can do those both together. I can make two pens at the same time, and the two fronts, that is, mounted up on the lathe, and the two back ends I have to do those separately because they have to be turned between centres, because it won't go on a mandrel. So anyway, I'll show you how I do it. Let's get at it. Right, I'm just going to round them off first. I got the lathe spinning at 2000 revs. I'll do the other one off camera. Okay, I'm going to try and replicate this design. So I'm going to have a little bead there, and bead at the back end. And there. I'll do the same on the other one. Bead there, and that little design there. running about 1600 revs. So I'll do the same at the other side, on the other one rather, and come back. Okay, I'm going to sand down to 320. Let's do this one first. Slow down a bit. What I will do with this one is going to use a little bit of sanding sealer on it. I want to get a really nice hard finish on it. Some 320. This is a bit of 600 wet and dry, because that's all I've got. It's not really necessary, but why not? And get a smoother finish as possible. Abrasive paste. This is a new one I've been working on. I've used three different types of abrasive powder in this one, so that I've got a mixture of quite a coarser one and a finer one, and less wax, so it's much, well, you can see there, it's much smoother and makes it a lot easier to put on, and yet I seem to get just as good as a finish on it as with the waxy one, so quite pleased with it. And I've just got to tweak it a little bit still. Why, getting rid of the excess out of the little hollows. You can see there, it leaves a really nice shine. And then we'll just, what should we do? I think we'll finish it off with some microcrystalline wax. Right, I'll just leave that to set for a minute while I get the other one prepared, and then I'll come back. They're lovely and smooth. Right, I'll take those off. I will just explain how I did the long end of the pen. It's drilled to the depth of the tube, down to about there. The tube's inserted. I've done it with super glue, but you can use epoxy. And this end is squared up and flushed up with the end of the tube there. Obviously the tube only comes up to here, so this end's got nothing in it, and so you can do whatever you like with this end. Okay, this is probably the trickiest part of the operation, because I found that when I've drilled this hole, it's not true, it's not parallel down the blank. It tends to veer off slightly, and if I were to just put that between centres and turn it, what I'd find is that the front piece and the back piece were slightly askew. So the best way around it, I've found, is I've got one of these from a pen disassembly kit. What they are parallel punchers, and I've got the one that's got the snuggest fit, and if I put that on there, then I know that that's nice and true with the tube. And then if I get the, you see that, yep, get the tailstock and start it spinning, because I think you get a better center when it's spinning. So I get it spinning, and then I bring the tailstock up and make a little indent in the end of the blank, and then I know that that little indent and the end of this end of the tube are parallel, and then I can remount it now. And what I do is I mount it on a live center, like so, and don't oh, you can see there it's not bad actually, but you can see it is off center. If I were to just have put it in the center, it would have been slightly out, and it just wouldn't look right. So I bring the tailstock up and just give it light pressure. I don't want to distort the brass tube at the other end, but at the same time it's got to be enough to turn without spinning. Right, I'm going to be turning it quite fast again, about 2000, just so that if I were to turn it slow it would hit it and keep spinning in the headstock. I'm just going to turn it round to start with. Right, normally what I do with these, if I want this parallel, I line, if I look down this and I line the edge of the tool rest up, if I look down to the bedways on the lathe, I can line the two up together, and I know that this then is parallel with the lathe. Then what I can do is, if I hold my finger behind the tool, as I come across, so long as I don't move anything, I know that that's keeping parallel, and as I cut there it'll cut parallel. Now with these, what I actually want is a taper on it. So what I do is I just turn that in slightly. Let's go a little bit closer. And I know that as I'm cutting, I'm creating a taper on it, and I can still keep my finger at the back, and I know that as I'm coming along it's going to be coming in and creating a taper. Because I haven't got a bushing on the end, I just want to make sure that it's the right kind of, I just want to make sure that it's the right diameter. So I'll just check this one with the calipers. I can go down a little bit there. A bit closer. It's not critical to keep them all exactly the same, but I know it works at that. It feels nice, so I make it roughly the same. I know that it's going to be okay. Right, turn it down a little bit and just round over. What I would actually like on these is a between centres bushing, but I can't seem to get one for a 7mm slimline tube. All the bushings are made to fit on the mandrels, so if anybody out there knows where I can get a 7mm between centres pair of, just in case, I don't need a pair for this, but you never know, of bushings, then that'd be good, and I could just put the bushing inside it, and there's less chance of this splitting out or damaging the brass. So that's got that little bead on, and then we just need to taper it out, and then I'm going to put a little bobble on the end. So again, I'll just set my rest at an angle. I don't want it too thin there, because children are likely to be using it, and if it's too thin it's likely to get broken. Right, I'm going to put a little ball at the end. I'll make sure I come back far enough to take out that hole that the tailstock is going to have made. Okay. I'll sand that down to 320, and then I'll come back. Right, we'll hit it with some abrasive paste. Crank the speed up a little bit. Oops. Just tighten that up just a tad. Nice already. Microcrystalline wax. I've used CA finishes on a fair few pens, and I like the fact that it's really shiny, but I kind of miss the feel of the wood. It does feel, I do tend to feel like a piece of plastic, which is what you're actually sort of touching, but I think you kind of lose something in there, and I do like a wooden pen to feel like wood. I think with a CA sometimes it can almost be like a piece of plastic with printed wood underneath, and you never know the difference. But with this, you can still feel the grain a little bit, and yeah, I mean, all right, it may dull a little where you're using it all the time, but I don't know, it might even polish up where you're using it all the time. Just the natural oils out of your fingers. But anyway, I like it. The only thing we've got to do now is to part that off without creating a rip. So what I tend to do there is use a skew. Definitely finish up with the best. Oh, my battery's going to die. Okay, we're back again. As I say, use the skew and it finishes up certainly doing the least damage. There we go. It leaves a nice, can you see that? Leaves a nice neat end. Just give it a quick rub with the 320. And then a quick buff with the abrasive paste. Rag. There, we're good to go. Right, let's assemble it. Well, assembly on this one's pretty easy. We've got the nib end. Just make sure you keep it nice and straight. There, it's going now. And that, as you can see, that's what I like about the putting this little bead at the end. It's not quite so critical as to getting the diameter of the wood exactly the same as the as this part of the nib. So you've got a little bit more play there, and it still feels nice on your fingers. What's not nice is when when this is slightly bigger than that, or that's slightly bigger than the wood, and you can just feel the difference. But here you kind of, there's meant to be a difference, so it feels right. Right then, that's the mechanism. I'll just see if I can pop it on just by hand, just to start it in there, give it a little bit of room. Right then, and there's a little ring around there that gives us an indication of where to go to. I tend to just go past it because I like the nib to come out a decent amount. So I just pinch just past it, and then try the ink chamber in, and yeah, that's okay. Yeah, at least when it's closed it's hidden, and as I say, I do like it out a long way when it's open. And yeah, then all there is with the back end, it couldn't be any simpler, just pop it straight on. It's quite firm, but there you go, and there it is. There's the twist. I guess you could, these are different pieces, but if you use one piece and you cut the blank, you could make sure that you line these up before pressing them together, depending on whether you wanted them marrying up in the open position or the closed. But yeah, there it is. Let me get a tape measure. The overall length is 8.5 inches, that's 21.5 centimeters. Yes, they feel nice in the hand, and yeah, they're just a little bit different. And you could, if you wanted to, even if you use the same wood, you could stain the end just to make it slightly different. But I thought I'd just do this one a little bit different from the other that's got the different coloured end. But yeah, really nice pens, and yeah, I think they, especially children, I think they would really like them. So there you go. Okay, there we have it. A pen, sort of a bespoke pen made out of a slimline kit, and yeah, nice little project. Quite simple, but you could change it quite a bit. You can make it as long or as short as you wanted, as long as it wasn't any shorter than the brass tube in there, and you can make it any shape. Yeah, nice little project, and I think especially kids would really like to have something like that. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and please leave a comment. Yeah, if you know where there's any between centre bushings for a 7mm pen tubes, then that'd be great if you could let me know that. And but yeah, leave a comment anyway. I enjoy getting them, and I do reply to them all. And yeah, it's been a bit of a mixed bag in Cornwall today. We've had a little bit of rain this morning, and but we've had some sunshine as well. It's been a little bit cooler. It's been about 12 to 15, and but yeah, it's not too bad outside now. It's not raining anyway, that's good, and there's no pitter-pattering on the roof. So anyway, my name's Andy Paramore. This is Andy's Cornish Creations. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.